sorcerer of the black arts, the gold helmet faceless vizier, the death fight of the centaur on the griffin, the six-armed goddess of evil. The flying homunculus. The savage siren on a rampage. The duel with the vanishing sorcerer. The one-eyed centaur. The oracle of all knowledge. The fountain of destiny.
Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek. And welcome to Magnificent Mondays. That was a great narrator, wasn't it? That's what Windgrace is now. That's a narrator. The savage siren. Brilliant. So that was the trailer for The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, which was the second of Ray Harryhausen and Charles Schneer's Sinbad films. They did three. What am I doing two for? They did three. This was the second one. The first we've done already in the seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Rather the seventh one first, because the seventh voyage, as we all know, was Sinbad's last. So this technically must be a prequel. Anyway, so who's here already? So, by the way, we're live. We're live on YouTube. Fingers crossed. Yes. We're live on Rumble and we're live on Twitch. Yay. Yes, right. So, who have we got in the chat already? We've got Windgrace. Oh, Windgrace is here already. Saying, what's so bad about sin, eh? Yeah. He does sin quite a lot, does Sinbad. He's like the James Bond or Captain Kirk of of the Arabian Nights. Well, of these films anyway. He's got a different woman in each film. Tell you. Anyway, and Joshua Knapka's here. Yeah, Tom Baker's fantastic in this. Yes, he is. He's fantastic in everything, though. He is. And it says, it goes on to say, oh, Buck Rogers stole that invisible swordsman bit from this. Don't remember that. Are you on about the Gil Gerard Buck Rogers? Must be. I don't remember that bit. Don't remember that episode. I've seen them all as well, all the Buck Rogers. I've got them all on DVD. But I don't remember an invisible swordsman. Anyway, never mind. Right, so here we go. Off we go. Some information. The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. As I said, the second from 1973, the second of the Ray Harryhausen, Charles H. Schneer, Sinbad films, directed by Gordon Hessler, who I've never heard of. I don't know what else he's done. Don't know. Written by Brian Clemens, who I think's most famous for doing. Did he do The Avengers? The John Peel, John Steed, Emma Peel Avengers. Was that Brian Clemens? I think it was. Yes, The Avengers. Yes, and Professionals and the New Avengers. Yes, it was him. Right, well, it's produced by Charles H. Schneer, stars John Phillip Law, Carolyn Monroe, Tom Baker, Martin Shaw, Douglas Wilmer, and other Kurt Christian, and many, many more. With a small part from Robert Shaw, uncredited. Cinematography by Ted Moore, music by, I don't know how you pronounce it, is it Miklos Roja? I don't know how you pronounce it. But apparently, Ray Harryhausen wanted Miklos Rozsa, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, for the seventh voyage of Sinbad, the first colour film they did. But Charles H. Schneer wanted Bernard Herrmann, so he talked him into getting Bernard Herrmann for those. But he got Miklos for this one. Had a budget of, it says here, budget of $2 million, but further down, $2 million, but further down it says the budget was, where is it? I've seen it somewhere. About $900,000. So maybe that's including marketing and stuff like that. I don't know. And its box office was, I can't remember. Well, it says it here somewhere. I've seen it. Where have I seen it? There we go. Its box office was 16 million. There we go. Worldwide, which were quite good. Even back then. Right. So there we go. So let's get on with it, shall we? Let's get on with it. Got new comments. I think it was season 2 of Gil Gerard's book with a little blue imp guy. Can't remember. Can't remember. I've seen them all, but I can't remember. But then again, season 2 wasn't the best, was it? But that's probably why I can't remember. Fool! Everyone knows there are only 5 dimensions. No fear, Maddie's here. Harpoon at the ready. They use a harpoon later on. Well, sort of. Harpoon is mentioned, although it's not really a harpoon, but whatever. Yes, we've had a great weekend. Well, some of us have. Right, let's get on with the film. I'll make myself titchy tiny. As usual, I'll not be playing the film, because that will get me into trouble. We'll be watching it in a series of stills. I may play the odd snippet. Where have I put it? There we go. But anyway, right. Anyway, so as I said, this is what we're watching. There we go. It's Golden Voyage of Sinbad. A decent Blu-ray. Got some nice special features on, and a cool. It's not a commentary, but they've put it as like a commentary track. It's like a lecture or something like that by Ray Harryhausen and Charles H. Schneer from 1970, so from before this film came out, but it's still interesting. But anyway, so that's worth getting. That's worth getting. Yes, the council is convened. All the Joshes are present and willing, I suppose. We all missed your Sunday news. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, nobody misses me. Nobody misses me. Right, let's get on with it. Right. Where are we? Oh, there we go. I don't know what I'm doing. I bet I've not muted it, have I? No, I haven't. I haven't muted it. There we go. I've now. Right. Anyway, the Columbia lady's looking very colourful in this intro, isn't she? With nice, I don't know, lavender. Would that be lavender? I don't know. But she's looking very, very bright, isn't she, in this one? I don't know why, but there we go. I'm going to have to get this on Blu-ray then. Yes, well, the decent Blu-rays are these ones. Like I say, I got it off Amazon. This is the Region 2, obviously. Or maybe it's Region 3. I've no idea. Does it say? No, it doesn't say. So maybe it's Region 3. But it's, what release is it? It's like PH or something. Indicator, it says on. And they've got some nice special features. I've got this one. I've got all the Sinbad ones. I've got Seventh Voyage, and I've got Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger as well. Right, where were we? Right, her. Right, so off we go. Charles H. Schneer. I've got starting John Phillip Law. I only know him from this and Barbarella. He's done loads of other stuff, but I don't think I've seen him in anything else personally. But all right, we also. Who else does it say it start? There we go. Carolyn Munro and Tom Baker with equal billing, I suppose you could say. This could be. Oh no, it's not, is it? I'm going to say this might be Carolyn Munro's top billing in the film. No, she'd done like Star Crash. Surely she was top billing in that. But anyway, I don't think she's dubbed in this one. I don't think. It doesn't say anyway. These are the other stars. Douglas Wilmer, who plays somebody we don't really see his face until the end. Martin Shaw, you may know from The Professionals and other stuff. And Kurt Christian, I can't remember the name of his character. I'm blanking on it because I'm an idiot. Haroon plays Haroon in this, but he comes back, the actor, not the character, in Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, as Raffi, not Raffi from Star Trek Strange New World. Picard, not Raffi from Star Trek Picard. Raffi in Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, and he's a baddie in that one, so they must have liked him. Anyway, right, off we go. Right, what are you doing in there? I'm just checking the chat. They're just talking amongst themselves, which is fine. Right, off we go. Anyway, there you go. There's all the people involved. Dynarama. This was the first film. Because remember, it used to be Dynamation from Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. It was Dynamation. But now they're calling it Dynarama for some reason. And they call it Dynarama in Seventh Voyage... Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. You know what? I don't think it mentions it in Clash of the Titans, his last film, Ray Harryhausen's final film. It might do. I don't know. I've never noticed, to be honest. But Dynarama, I don't know how they changed it from Dynamation to Dynarama. Because Dynamation sounds better. Dynarama just sounds tacky and cheap, in my opinion. But anyway. Right, so off we go. Right, we begin. We're on Sinbad's ship. I don't know if it's accurate to what 10th century Arabs would be sailing about, the Gulf of Arabia and the Indian Ocean in. I don't know. One thing I do know, they probably didn't have telescopes, but we see him brandishing one later on. It's a fantasy. It's not historically accurate. Anyway, they're all getting about their sailor duties, and then we see as first creature. Here we go. Here it is, the homunculus. It is flapping about, and it's holding something shiny. Just won't let me live it down, will you? You won't let me live it down. Oh dear. Just let me. I've got to. Can't see the subtitles, can we? So I've got to adjust. There we go. Get rid of them. Oh, before we do, I forgot to mention. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. Or join us in the chat. Comment if you're watching later. As I said, we're live on YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch. I'll upload it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, which will be audio only, I presume, later. I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram if you want to follow me on those social media thingamabobs. Links are in the description, as are links to my 2 books. I've got to plug them. But not that. Hang on. I picked up the wrong things. Hang on, where are we? There we go. I'll just make myself big for a minute. Just remove that and make myself big. There we go. Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats running around North Yorkshire, eating people and stuff, and Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and alien abductions and alien invasions and the moon and comets and reptilians and greys and triangles and saucers and Area 51 and it's got everything in. It's just a bit of fun. Right, where were we? Let's get back to it. Oh, I'm putting that on, aren't I? Right, where were we? Right. Still talking on. Just checking the chat again. Still talking amongst themselves about the weather. See, you didn't miss me at all. You just want a forum to talk to each other. It's fine. Right, where are we? One of them says, fetch me a bow. So off he does. Gets him a bow. There you go. Fetch me a bow. By the way, lots of slightly dodgy accents in this. I don't know how politically correct it'd be if it were made today. Because they're all talking like that. And praise be Allah and all that, But anyway. But apparently they did have a dialect coach. So maybe it'll be fine. Did you write those books, Steve? Yes, I did. I did write those books. Not very well, but I did. I said they're on Amazon. Kindle and paperback. Self-published, because no self-respecting publisher would accept it. Not through want of trying. But anyway. What's that? He did, and he did the brief reading of one of them in the stream he declassified from several months ago, did I? I don't know, I can't remember. I can't remember. And what's that snippet about the creature eating a lady you read in the other video? I don't know, I can't remember. Anyway. I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember. Because I've got Alzheimer's. Anyway, so here's the creature. It's called the homunculus, and it's carrying something shiny. So he's going to shoot it out of the air with an arrow. There's Martin Shaw. He calls Sinbad to deck. So Sinbad comes up and goes, "Is it a jackdaw? Not a magpie. Is it a jackdaw?" But doesn't look very much like a jackdaw, does it? So he shoots at it and misses, but it makes it drop the object it's carrying. And as we see, there we go. It's that, a gold thingamabob. And he decides to keep it, does Sinbad. There he is, decides to keep it. Wingrace says, "In the stream you did, that was a part 2 after someone showed up with surprise birthday gifts. You did a couple big cat stories at the end and read from your book." Oh, right, did I? I genuinely can't remember. Genuinely can't remember. Fair enough. Take your word for it. It was about the article about the large cats in England. Oh, right, okay. As I said, I can't remember. I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. Never mind. I go into the kitchen and forget what I've gone in for. I'm that old and stupid. Anywho, back to the film. We'll be here all night. Because we've got to go over to Sci-Fi Quests at 11. Fingers crossed. Because he's doing I think it's Star Trek 4 watch party. But anyway. Right, so, see, he picks it up and he has a look and it's shining in his face. And then we hear some spooky music going like that. And then we see the outline. There she is. Hang on, let's watch it again. I'm pressing the wrong skip. There we go. We see a superimposed outline of Carolyn Munro, the lovely Carolyn Munro, who is lovely in real life as well. I've met her at a convention and she's lovely. But doing a little bit of a dance. But as we can see, she's got an eye on the palm of her hand. But anyway, looks at that. But I don't think anybody else can see it. Or maybe they can. I don't know. But I don't think they can. So he sees that. And then the creature comes down. And does it? I don't know. Maybe it just floats. I think it just flies away. The creature just flies away, I think. So he decides to keep it. He puts it round his neck, because he's now Medallion Man. I believe the technical term for that is gewgaw, Steve. I don't know. I don't know. He also discussed all the announced Star Wars movies and said none of them would happen, except probably the Filoni Mando one. There you go. There you go. But don't forget, Star Trek Legacy, mid-2025. That's my next prediction. It's not going to happen. Right, so he's in his cabin. He's asleep, he's dreaming. We've got a dream sequence now. There he is. He's dreaming about Carolyn Munro, which is not a bad thing to dream about. By the way, in this film, she's called Mariana. But I think you've got to pronounce it like Mariana because he's got a G in it. Anyway, he's dreaming about her, which is, not a bad thing to dream about, to be completely honest. But anyway, off she goes. And then she's dancing away, and then she does a twirl. But into the cloak of Kura, Prince Kura. This is Tom Baker's character. And we hear him going, Sinbad, Sinbad. There we go. And then we see the homunculus, which is like a little bat thing, isn't it? Oh, and then she's dancing again and doing all that. This is where she goes into his cloak. And then we get lightning. And they go, Sinbad, and then he sees that again. And then we get little clues about what's to come in the film. We see a statue with faces on, and then we see a crown of untold riches, and we don't see anything else, which is a shame. We could have showed some other things, but anyway, then we see the homunculus again, and then he's getting Sinbad, because it's Tom Baker. This role, by the way, kind of got Tom Baker his Doctor Who job. because there's on the Blu-ray there's an interview with Tom Baker from, I don't know when it's from, but it's hilarious. You know what Tom Baker's like. He's a bit of a raconteur, isn't he? So it's very funny, and he's very non-PC. Talks about Jews and Arabs and stuff. But he says he went for a. He phoned up his friend. He had a friend at the BBC. I forgot his name. Some Betts. I can't remember. Is it Betts or Letts? Whoever were in charge of Doctor Who at the time, and I think he'd worked with him before on the Millionaires, the BBC version of the Millionaires, and he phoned up to see if there any work going at the BBC, and they said, "Well, we've got this Doctor Who thing coming up. John Pertwee's going to leave. Would you like to have a go at being Doctor Who?" And he went, "Yes, yes." He said, "Sierra," and obviously other BBC executives had to be convinced. So they all piled over to the cinema because this were on Golden Voyage of Sinbad. So they all piled over, watched him in this, and said, "Fine, he's going to be Doctor Who." And he was working on a building site at the time with Tom Baker. He says, "I didn't do very much building. He just made tea, and they all called him Sir Lawrence because they knew he was an actor. So he just made tea, and he learned how to use a drill." That's how he described it. Bless him. But yes, this got him the Doctor Who gig. Anyway, so there we go. We see another piece. It's not the same one he picked up, is it? It's a different one. So there's going to be other pieces to this trinket he has around his neck. And then a bit more Sinbad. And then he wakes up and Martin Shaw's staring at him. What's Martin Shaw's character's name? I can't remember any of the bloody character names. Rashid. We've got Rashid, Hakim, Haroon, Ahmed, and Abdul. There you go. That's his crew. Anyway, he wakes up. But the ship is about to be dashed on the rocks in the storm. With some, stock footage. Stock storm footage. They will be being driven onto the rocks. But it's Sinbad, so he saves them. And they get to... The storm suddenly lifts, just magically. And he thinks it must be to do with this pendant he's got. I think I've spilt something down my T-shirt. Sorry. I just felt something there. I've been eating mushy peas, so it could be that. Anyway, whatever. So then the storm lifts, they're safe, and then we see that they're by a big city. Hang on, let's go back again. It says it must be Arabia. There we go. Don't know where Arabia is. Is it a real place? I don't know. I was going to look it up, but I forgot. There we go. It must be Arabia. Maybe it's just short for Arabia with an M. I don't know, but they're not sure. So there he goes, talking about his dream, and then Rashid says, "Oh, there's a good place to anchor, yonder." But Sinbad just decides to go for a swim. So he says, "I'll meet you there." So there we go. Off he goes into the water, just like in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Don't bother with, don't know if there's a lifeboat or a rowing boat he could have taken. Don't know. He goes swimming. Because he'd seen somebody on the beach. I forgot to mention that. Let's have a look, see if we can get to that. If he sees somebody on the beach. Don't know who it's supposed to be. Come on, show us. There we go. See somebody on the beach and they've got something shiny. I don't know if it's supposed to be Cora or Carolyn Munro or what. I don't know. And Laura Smith's here. Hi, Geek. Ignorant question from an American. If one were to give Doctor Who a try for the first time, which series should you begin? I suppose, really, you should start... I'd say start at the very beginning, but that's a bit tricky, isn't it? So start with, the Christopher Eccleston ones, the new lot, what they call it, it's not a reboot, is it? But the new Doctor Who, start there with Christopher Eccleston. That's probably the best place to start, and then go back to the old classic Who's afterwards. That's probably the best place to start. I don't know where they are in America. They're on like BBC America or... I don't know, but anyway. But yes, that's what I'd do. Anyway, so he sees this figure on the beach, so off he goes for a swim. And then he, climbs out. By the way, it was filmed. The locations were filmed at in Spain, and I can't remember where. I've actually got notes. Why don't I get my notes up? Right, here we go. Filmed in Spain, Madrid, as well as I think they may have had studios in Madrid, but also on the island of Mallorca and the Royal Palace of La Almudena. Pardon me. And then there's some caves of art and the Torrent de Paris. I've no idea, but that's where it was filmed. By the way, it won the very first Saturn Award for Best Fantasy Film. There you go. So there you go. Right, okay, that's that for now. New Who, prior to the 60th, is on HBO, is it? All right, okay. Who, after the 60th, is on Disney+. Classic Who is, well, on Pluto and a couple of other places, I think. Cool. I'm not English, but my starting point for Doctor Who was actually Tom Baker back in the day, thanks to local PBS. My first Doctor Who was John Pertwee, because I'm old. But Tom Baker's my favourite Doctor. It used to be Peter Davidson, but, in retrospect, Tom Baker's my favourite. And Sci-Fi Quest is just talking about you, about your stream that's coming up. It's also on Tubi. All right. I don't know if we can get Tubi here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what Tubi is, or is it Tubi? I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, Pertwee's my number 2. I like John Pertwee, but he was better as Doctor Who than he was as Wurzel Bloody Gummidge, because I hated that show. But anyway, that's by the by. Right, so here we are. He's on the beach. He's come across some leaning trees. I don't know where this is. This might be Mallorca. I've no idea. I don't know where it is. But anyway, he does has a sit down, and then some odd, a very. It's like they've held up a bit of cardboard behind him, just with a vaguely human shape. But it's supposed to be Tom. I won't say Tom Pertwee. Tom Baker on a horse, and he's Prince Kura, the Black Prince, on his black horse. He says, "You are Captain Sinbad." And he says, "It might be." And says, that bauble around your neck, it is mine. I think it says, "You are also a thief, and a thief is a king until he is caught." I'm actually going to write down all the little pearls of wisdom that's in this film, because there's quite a few, but I forgot. So he says, there you go, "It's mine, hand it to me, or you will have no throat." But obviously, he bamboozles them and escapes. There we go. Pinches that chap's horse and rides off. Then we have a little bit of a horse chase. There we go, through some trees. It's all cool. But he's heading for the city. There it is. I presume that's a map painting of a city in the distance. Marabia. But there we go. Their presence is heralded. There we go. Points as well. Would you recommend watching the Cushing movies before the real series? I don't know, because they're separate. I count the Cushing films as separate Doctor, because he calls himself "I am Doctor Who" in those, so I count those as separate. But they're just remakes of William Hartnell era Doctors Who's anyway, aren't they? Doctor Who and the Daleks and Dalek Invasion of the Earth 2150 AD had been done on the BBC. These are just in colour with Peter Cushing. But they're worth a look. I've got them on DVD. They're worth a look. Alright, so he arrives at the city and rides in through this portcullis gate, and Kura stops because the guards are there, look, and people in the city are going, "It's the Black Prince, it's the Black Prince." So the soldiers are coming towards him, so he decides to start doing chanting. And he said they were just like chanting Latin and stuff like that, and mixing it up with other stuff. I don't think he had any particular lines to say. They're just giving it all, and all that. It's a spell he's weaving because he's a magician, and he just makes the whatever, the gate come down, the portcullis, whatever you call them, I don't know. He makes that come down and he rides off. Right, and then the vizier arrives. Hang on, where are we? The vizier arrives. There he is, with the man in the iron mask. He arrives. Oh, it's supposed to be gold, whatever. And he looks like a baddie, but he ain't. He's a goodie. So this is Douglas Wilmer, who I've seen in other things, and I can't remember what. Let me look. Let me check. The name rings a bell, and I've forgotten what I've seen him in. Oh, gosh, yes. He's in the James bloody Bond film, Octopussy. Yes, he's in Octopussy. He's in Jason and the Argonauts. Yes, of course. That's where I remember him from. He plays the evil king in Jason and the Argonauts, the one that conquers Thessaly in Jason and the Argonauts. Yes, but he's been in a million other things as well. That's where I remember him from. Anyway. So he says, we have waited for you. We have waited your arrival for a long time. You know, it's all prophesied and all that. Meanwhile, Kura arrives back at his castle. I don't know where this is. Somewhere in Spain. Maybe it's the what I've just mentioned. Hang on, where are we? Maybe it's the Royal Palace of La Almudena. I don't know. Or maybe it's the Torrent de Pareis. I've no idea. But it's a castle. It's a real one. You can see it's there. So he arrives there and says he escaped. And then we see that his hand has gone funny. It's gone a bit old. And he goes saying, I brought the city gates down upon their foolish faces. And he says, Master, your hand. And there we go. We see he's gone all wrinkly there. Because every time he uses black magic, it takes something away from him. There is a price for calling on the forces of darkness, etc. Anyway, so... Oh, yes, the homunculus arrives. It comes back and lands on his arm, thusly, like that. And so he's going to send it to go and spy on the vizier, because this is his eyes, and that's what a homunculus is. It's an extension of your senses, isn't it? So that's what it is. He can see and hear what it sees and hears. So he sends it off. It's going to go and spy on Sinbad and the vizier. So anyway, they ride to the palace. And we learn that the caliph or whatever, or king of the city, had passed away without an heir, and he put his grand vizier in charge. Look at it, he's a goodie. He's not one of these, not like Jafar from Aladdin. He's a goodie. He's a nice fella. But the king, caliph, whatever, sultan, might have been the sultan. Said, passed on a great secret, and it was in this chamber below the castle, and but we learn what happened then. So this is the first secret. Behind these massive doors, there's a little hole. Why do they need such big doors to cover that up? I don't know. But anyway, they go in there, and hang on, where are we? Is there an assassin running around looking for stargates in the background? Probably. Probably. Yes, the Sultans of Swing. Shut up. Also, I'll get a copyright strike for doing Dire Straits. Anyway, so he's going lighting all these coals and stuff so they can see what they're doing. And here we see there's some sort of map. A reasonably accurate map of that's obviously Saudi Arabia, or Arabia as it was known back then, with the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf and the Indian Ocean. So we know we're going on a sea voyage, he said as he rushed down here after the Sultan died, he rushed down here to learn the secrets, but then because of Kura's black magic, the room was engulfed by fire. I thought, well, not surprised all these open flames about, but anyway. And it burned his face, which is why he wears that mask. But the fire did not destroy one thing. I'm going to show us there. We've got another one of those, which we'd seen in his dream. Another part of the puzzle. And it connects. There we go. It connects to the other. But it's still incomplete. There's another piece to find, because it comes in 3. But they can't fathom it out. There's some sort of riddle on the wall, and he doesn't know what to do. But then, as he's looking at it, Sinbad, he notices the shadow that is cast. Meanwhile, there's the homunculus spying on them. Look, it's like great, as would be expected. Great stop motion from Ray Harryhausen. Probably, in my opinion, probably the best of the Sinbad films in terms of creatures and the quality of the film. But my favourite is still Seventh Voyage, but this is probably the best, in my opinion. Anyway, there must be somewhere like Babylon or ancient Sumeria, something like that. Or was it Akkadian? These like sphinxes, these like a Babylonian sphinx thing, or griffin, or whatever you want to call it, which we see again later. But anyway. Right, so he's looking at that, and then the shadow is cast from these coals, casting a surprisingly sharp shadows, but... this is where we're seeing Kura's seeing what the homunculus is seeing, and presumably the homunculus is seeing Kura up at his window. But anyway, I pray to Allah, but he does not hear me. But anyway, Sinbad works it out. There we go. Where are we? Come on, showers. There you go. I think he's where he's seeing it now. He sees the shadow on the wall. That's a good title for a song. Come on. There we go. And then we see it completes the map with longitudinal lines. I'm trying to remember which came first. I think it was longitude that were first, wasn't it? Latitude came later, I think, did it? Or was it the other way around? I can't remember. Anyway. I think that's a Shedu or Lamassu. Okay, on about the Sphinx. Yeah, I can't remember the call. That Lamassu rings a bell. I've seen that word somewhere before. But anyway, where were we? Yes, it completes the map. So they say it's a course, to plot a ship's course. Right. So meanwhile on the ship, they're having some nice dancing girls there, all having a bit of fun. Meanwhile, this soldier arrives. He's got a message for... I forgot his name already. For Martin Shaw. I'll just call them by their actor names. They've got a message for him on some old burnt paper. Parchment, even. So it's obviously saying, get the ship ready for sail. We're going somewhere. So he does his... he goes like... I can't whistle like that, but he does that. And then he points for some reason with 2 fingers. You go home, or whatever. So she sods off. So they're going to go on a voyage, and they're taking the vizier with him. And it's the famous pearl of wisdom of the film. Trust in Allah, but tie up your camel. They say it several times in this film. Meanwhile, the... homunculus is watching, and they see it, and so he throws something at it, and it falls down behind there. So they've got to get it out. It's like chasing a mouse. You ever tried chasing a mouse? It's bloody hard, isn't it? But he gets hold of it, and it just turns to like dead leaves in his hand in a minute when he gets hold of it. There we go. Go back again. There you go. As he's holding it, it turns to dead leaves because it's black magic. And speaking of black magic, what are you up to? Behave yourself. Princess makes her presence felt. Right, so Kura knows what they're up to. He knows they're going to an island, but he doesn't know the details of it. So they've got to set off. And with Kura in pursuit. So, meanwhile, Sinbad's just going to enjoy the pleasures of the city, but he's being followed, there we go, by a couple of dodgy blokes. But obviously Sinbad knows, he knows he's being followed, so we make short work of the chap, there we go. Make short work of him. Then go, But this fella's got a proposition for him. He wants him to take his son. There he is. His son Haroon, played by Kirk Christian, as I said, who pops up in the next film as a baddie. But as you can see, he's a lazy kid, a waster, a fool, who just likes drinking and eating and all that stuff and playing and all that. It'd be like me. But he wants him to take him. And it turns out, he's one of the best characters in the film. He's cool, he's Haroon. So he's going to take him. For the price of Mariana, there she is, the lovely Caroline Munro, who is seen in his dreams. I think her and, is it 400 gold pieces or whatever to take his son. There you go, 400 gold coins. So there we go, Mariana. That's called Marge. But he's asking about the eye that she's got on the palm of her hand. I've had it since I was a child. That's how she says it. But anyway. Right, so they're off. They're off. They're setting off, and she's below decks, and the vizier's arriving before they set off. And then off they go to sea. Here it goes. There we go. Oh, this is... what's his face? I've got a bloody name already. Kura. You should sketch her. I've done many pictures of Caroline Munro. I printed a load out and took them to a convention. I had to sign it for me. Hang on, I'll see if I can find it. Hang on. See if I can find the blooming thing. Hang on, it won't be in there, will it? Just bear with me. Oh, wrong way. Come over here, you. Right. I forgot where I've put them. No, I'll look on Facebook. I've got it on Facebook somewhere. My picture ad signed by Caroline Munro. Which folder is it in? No, it's not in that one. Hey, where are we? Is it in this one? Do photos and albums and autographs, not in any order, it says. So I've got to scroll down through all these. Just bear with me. Hang on, I'll just put this over here. I'll drag this over here, then you can see what I'm looking at. This is my face. This is my autographs I've got. Most of them in person, some of them not. That's Aidan's autograph from Caroline Munro. Where's mine? With me drawings I did. Oh, there we go. There it is. There we go. With love, Caroline Munro. Nobody does it better. Be some pictures I'd drawn of her. And she liked them. So there we go. There we go. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Right. Get rid of that. Right. Like one of his French women. Parisian women. Anyway, this is Kura's boat. Looks a bit like the boat that Zenobia uses in Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, doesn't it? But anyway. Maybe it is the same boat. I don't know. There we go. He's giving, treasures to the captain to follow Sinbad's boat without being seen, but he's seen. And he's got a telescope, look. I don't think they were invented in the 10th century Arabia, were they? I don't think they were, anyway. I miss going to cons. Yes, so do I. I used to go to a lot of them. And now I don't go to any. All my cosplays are all just in the wardrobe, probably rotting. Anyway, right, so they're off to an island. They're off to Lemuria. That's the name of the island that they're looking for. So there we go. We seek Lemuria, which I thought that was supposed to be in, or is it Mu? I can't remember. It wasn't supposed to be in the Pacific, innit? Was Lemuria supposed to be in the Indian Ocean? Could be. Anyway. So that's what they're off for. And he's got a proper crew. We ain't got criminals and bandits this time. He's got his proper crew. And Haroon. Right. So He's just woke up, by the way, and he's realised he's on a ship. Oh, pardon me. And doesn't realise how long he's going to be at sea. And Sinbad says, 1 or 2 years, maybe. It's like, oh, this is terrible. So he's got to work for a living now. So he's part of the crew. And he becomes an indispensable part of the crew and a super brave guy. But anyway, right, so they're all laughing at him. Right, so off they go. All right, he sends him up to the crow's nest. Says, a job that he can sit about and do nothing. So he can do that up in the crow's nest. So he sends him up there. And he does well, because he spots Kura's ship in the distance, on the horizon. Meanwhile, there we go. There's Mariana in Sinbad's cabin, and she picks up a knife for some reason. There you go. And hides it behind her back. Then he says, "Oh, I forgot you were here." And she bows down to him, and she says, "I am your slave, you own me." He says, "No, no man has the right to own another." So it's very progressive back then, wasn't it? I think they had lots of slaves. But Lemuria is supposed to be in the Indian Ocean. All right, so were it Mu then that were supposed to be in the Pacific? These lost continents, there's too many to keep track of. Anyway, right. So, she's not his slave, she's his guest. And so then he says, "Get me a drink." There you go. And then he goes, "Please." So, anyway. So, he's going to have a nice time, in this, on this voyage. But then he gets called to the deck. And there we go. Haroon's seen a light on the horizon, and it's Kura's ship, so he's seen it through his telescope. But anyway, maybe they did have them, because, these ancient Arabs, were clever, weren't they? But anyway. Right, so... so there's checking his course and stuff like that on his map that must be printed on vellum or something like that. It's not paper, because as we see, it ends up in the sea. And behave yourself, bloody princess. So anyway, so he's working out his course. She's asking questions, and he's talking about this Kura's this great black bat of a man and all that, and blah blah blah. Right, so they carry on, and they enter a fog bank, and there we go, and they dare follow him. They need a course to plot. He's got a map as Sinbad, but they haven't, and if they dare go into the fog, they could be dashed on rocks or whatever. So Kura has a plan, and he's going to do some of his magic. He's with his book of magic. Maybe it's the Necronomicon with for Cthulhu and all that. I don't know, but he does his magic, and he makes this figurehead come to life. There's Haroon just sitting next to it, and I don't think Arabian ships back then. I don't think they were known for having figureheads, but whatever. According to known history, they didn't exist yet, but who's to say they weren't lost and reinvented like so many things? Exactly like the Antikythera mechanism. Anyway, right. So there we go. So it's gonna come to life now. Is this figurehead? Here it comes. There we go. Comes to life. Kura's controlling it, so it breaks itself off from the ship. And so the crew, gets this fella. Bang! There we go. So I presume she chucks him overboard. Toss him overboard. There we go. So over he goes. Ah! They should have had a Wilhelm scream there, but they didn't. They just had a ah! Anyway, so they come out to fight it, and there we go. They've got is that a harpoon? Doesn't do much. It's after the map, so it smashes. This is the map room, by the way, on the ship. So it just smashes that up. There we go. Grabs the map. Got very rubbery hands for wood, hasn't it? But never mind. There we go. Somebody sticks an axe in her. In a minute. There we go. A nice little. We'll do it frame at a time. See if we can see the axe disappear. Because there we go. Swinging it. Look. See if we can see when the axe disappears and the... Cool. What does he do? Does it just go behind? It must do. It must go behind, and Harryhausen replaces it with a toy one. Anyway, he must ask her a question. Yes. Anyway, so they're fighting away and not doing any real damage to her. Oh, crikey, I bet that hurt. But it wouldn't, because she's wood. I'm saying she, obviously. You know, I am. Yes, I am. You know. Assuming her gender. Anyway, it's got the chart, as they said, and so they try a bit of fire on her. But then he goes, return, return. So off she comes back. Oh, she's got a, there you go. He calls it a harpoon. Is that a harpoon? I don't know, but he's got, yeah, whatever. She's got that in her hand, and so she starts, she's going to swing it at him, but then she hears Cora saying, return. So off she goes. She chucks herself over the side with the iron harpoon, and sinks down. And then he says, "But wood floats." He says, "You know, the harpoon was made of iron." So she sinks down to the bottom, and he says, "But you know, took the map, the course." And he says, "Oh, it's all still in my head." There's Sinbad, but he's still got to use his magic to make the figurehead come back. And obviously it does. But now see, he's taking it out on him. He's going great. He'll end up looking like me before long. He does. Later. This is the first time, by the way, that his servant, who's got a name, but I can't remember, has seen him, do his magic and get older each time he does it. That's what he's telling him. It consumes part of me. Meanwhile, the baddie crew on the ship, the hoist. I wouldn't say haul, hoist the figurehead aboard, and obviously it must be printed on vellum or something, but obviously it's not just paper, is it, or parchment? But he retrieves it with the sword, and then we go, "There's your course, Captain." They can now go into the fog bank. Without fear of being dashed on rocks. Oh, pardon me. Right, so, but whatever. Right, yes, they find the island. I'm sure they can see it, but obviously the skip function on here is not letting us see it. Land ho! Are we going to see it? There we go. There it is. There's Lemuria. I wonder if it's a real island. It looks like one, doesn't it? Or is it just a map painting? I've no idea. But it looks forbidding, doesn't it? I bet there's dinosaurs on there. Well, maybe not. But anyway, looks more like an island than a continent, but never mind. Right, so they're going aboard at daybreak. But meanwhile, Cora's going to bring to life another homunculus. But he doesn't need magic for this, just some chemicals in the right proportions, he says, and a bit of his blood. On another pearl of wisdom, don't throw stones in the well that you drink from. Technically, he should have said, don't throw stones in the well from which you drink. Get it right, mate. But anyway, you're not Ahmed. There you go. Do not have faith in my powers. We are soon to triumph. Anyway, so they go. It does little. He's got this knife, and he does this little nick. But for some reason, he's got two puncture marks, like a little vampire's bit him. I don't know, but anyway. So he puts some of his blood on it, and it comes to life. Here it comes. There we go. Cool bit of animation. It reminds me of the Ymir from 20 Million Miles to Earth. But, yes. The bastard. Demerits for ending a sentence in a preposition. Anyway, the the homunculus comes to life, and as I said, it kind of reminds me of the Ymir from 20 Million Miles to Earth, although that didn't have wings, but it's a similar vibe to it. There we go. As it comes up and it goes calling out. But there's a nice little scene of him, calling it. It's going like you do to like a cat or whatever. And it jumps on his arm, and in a minute. Oh, it jumps on his arm and then turns into a rubber one. It's fine. And off it goes. It's going to go spying for him again, this one. Hopefully it'll be better than the last one. We will see. And they go, the night with its ears and the day with its eyes. That's what it's going to be. Oops. Right, so morning has broken. So the crew from Sinbad's ship are heading to the island. This is in Mallorca, I think. I could be wrong. I can't remember. Hang on, it's in my notes. Where are we? Where are we? I've got it somewhere. Where is it? I didn't put it in my notes for some weird reason. Oh, where is it? There we go. When Sinbad and the others land on Lemuria, a cliff along the left side of the beach, this is what we're looking at there, is covered with carvings. According to an interview given by Ray Harryhausen, the cliff does not exist. The scene was shot on a popular beach in Spain, and the cliff was a matte painting added to hide all the spectators. So there you go. So that's not real. I mean, it's not real, but all of it's not real. I mean, it just looks like they've just superimposed, the building and the carvings and stuff, doesn't it? But apparently it's all superimposed over the top of the beach. Got lots of Spaniards looking at them with sangria in their hands. Anyway, so they've arrived at the beach. Here we go. So they get off and see a forbidding valley ahead of them. Oh, cracking, coffee. So off they go. Off the jolly well go on this stone beach. Pebble Beach. Then we go. They see there's a figure there in the distance. They've got to follow it. So they do. But the homunculus is watching them. Anyway, let's just check and make sure we're still going. While we're at it. Yep, we're still going on Rumble. No messages on Rumble. And we're still going on Twitch. Yes, we are. Right, so I just thought I'd check. Hang on, what's that? Oh, it's nothing. Right, fair enough. I thought I had a message on Twitch and I didn't want to. That's what they want you to think. Okay. Anyway. They've soon got up there, haven't they? But anyway, whatever. And another superimposed fit. Not the best, that, is it? But never mind. It's a little bit too sharp, isn't it, compared to the background? But never mind. Remember, it's Lemuria. It's supposed to be somewhere in the Indian Ocean. So this is why getting all this Indian sort of like iconography. But anyway, Kura arrives. There we go. With Ahmed. With his little box of tricks. He tells them to pay the men or give them wine and whatever. So they're in pursuit of Sinbad and his band of merry men. This is in Spain somewhere. Don't ask me where. I don't know, but it's in Spain somewhere. So they're following this dark figure, because that's what you want to do, innit? On a mysterious island, which is another Ray Harryhausen film, by the way, Mysterious Island. Based on the Jules Verne book. But, follow a mysterious figure. Anyway, so they arrive at, like he saw in his dream. He saw that in his dream, into this temple of many faces. Obviously, so it's supposed to look like somewhere in India or like Angkor Wat or somewhere like that in Cambodia. Somewhere like that, isn't it? But anyway, so they've arrived there. It looks scared. Does I forgot his name again? Kirk Christian. Haroon, yes, Haroon. I remembered. Says, "Are you scared?" He says, "No, my heart is full of courage, but I have very cowardly legs." So anyway, but off they go. There you go. I have cowardly legs. So anyway, so they go, and inside, the dark figure beckons them in. So in they go, into these caves, which are real caves, apparently. I've got it in my notes, because I've forgotten. Caves of Arta. This is the temple of the oracle that they're coming into. The Caves of Arta is where it is, which is in Spain somewhere. Lots of stalactites and stalagmites and stuff. And apparently, obviously it's open for tourists through the day, but it closes at 6, so 6 p.m. So they could only come in and film after 6 p.m. So that's what they did. Right, so down the stairs they come, but as this fella, we see that the homunculus is following him. Look, there it is. Oh, sneaky little bugger. So down they go. Look, beautifully lit, presumably by Ted Moore, and is it Ted Moore, the cinematographer? Lots of greens and purples and reds, look, and blues and stuff, all very nicely done. Very, cinematic. Anyway, they get to the bottom. There's the dark figure. Who looks like it's a woman, doesn't it, with long hair? A guardian of the temple. There's the homunculus watching. So they want the oracle of all knowledge. And no, it's not Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab. She became the grandfather of all knowledge, didn't she? So it starts, this guardian starts chanting and that, and then drops to her knees, and then the oracle appears. Here it comes. Cool. This is Robert Shaw, who we're going to see in a minute when he appears. Oh, for God's sake, it's not going to show us him, is it? There we go. Come on, show us it. That's Robert Shaw, is that? Quint from Jaws, and other things as well. This is Robert Shaw. They originally wanted Orson Welles for this part, but it wasn't available. Oh no, he asked for too much money. That was it. So I don't know how much he asked for. But Robert Shaw was apparently a friend of Charles Schneer. Just happened to be on holiday in Spain at the time. So Charles Schneer phoned him up, and Robert Shaw didn't really want to do it, but it was a favour to his friend. But they paid him $5,000. And he just came in for the day and did it. Had to be heavily made up, obviously, like this, and record the words and stuff. But $5,000 for a day's work, not bad. In my notes, in the IMDb things, it says for 20 minutes work. It says where is it? Shaw was paid £5,000 for just 20 minutes of work. I think it was there for longer than 20 minutes. Looks like a Rob Zombie album cover. I've never got into Rob Zombie, to be honest. Either his music or his films, so I couldn't comment. I think the only Rob Zombie thing I know is he used to do, the wrestler Edge. He used to do his entrance theme, didn't he? But I can't remember what that is now, but I just remember he used to do that. Anyway, so it's talking in rhyme, telling them where to go, somewhere that lies below the ground with a many-armed god and stuff like that, saying all that. And Kura's arrived as this is all going on down there. Then he tells them to go north, as he carry on talking in his rhyming riddles. The destiny is a place where both good and evil wait. We see that later on. And then another quote: "The very deeds of weak and mortal men may tip the balance one way or the other." That's another thing that happens later. And then go north, he says, north to barren lands of pagan places and pagan bands. Speaking of Rob Zombie. Dragula used to be on the soundtrack of all the cool video games back in the day. Take your word for it. Take your word. As I said, I'm not a Rob Zombie fan, so I don't know. So going north. Meanwhile, Kura's putting his chemicals about. And there we go north. But before they have a chance to get out, there he goes doing his evil things with his chemicals. The Guardian, for some reason, has dissolved into nothing. Nothing left of her. How weird. Is another one going to arrive? Or is the Oracle only... Does it only work once? Maybe it does. I don't know. But anyway, so he runs off. The temple... There's a big explosion. Boom! And the temple collapses. The entrance collapses, but then the rest of it comes down as well. as we see, and tells them all to go back down. They're going down, but for some reason he's still ended up with Marge for some bizarre reason. And there you go. There you go. And then the rest of it comes down as well. Ooh, crikey. So they're trapped. Buried alive. And then Sinbad goes, Gula! Just like Kirk. But anyway, so they're trapped. And then he goes, farewell, Sinbad. So they sod off, thinking, the ball's in their court. So they've got to find a way out. Luckily, there's a bloody great hole in the roof, thankfully, for ventilation, one would presume. So it tells them, take off your sashes and turbans and stuff and tie them all together to make a rope. By the book, Admiral. Tells them what to do that. And then he's going to fashion an arrow of iron. There you go. An arrow, a straight, sure arrow. And that's where he says, oh, yes, sashes and turbans. And he takes his off. And, trust in Allah. There we go. And but tie up your camel. She couldn't resist, though. They can't resist, can they? Copying a look. Look. But if we cop a look, it's all, my eyes are up here. Bloody women. But tie up your camel. Anyway. So, there we go. So they've got a rope. So he gets the bow. Luckily, one of them had a bow with him, thank God. So he fires it up. First shot, it works. Hang on, I've gone too far. There we go. First shot, it works, and he pulls it back, and it's nicely captures there under that lip. So everything's fine. So he's going to climb up. So off they go. Sinbad. Somebody else says, I'll go first, and Sinbad says, no, I'll do it. So up he goes. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I could never climb the rope in in gym class at school. I was rubbish. I think I did it once, and then I got scared I couldn't get down again. Obviously I did, but I nearly panicked and fell. Anyway, right, so up he goes. But then the homunculus decides to intervene, so it starts flapping around. There we go, by Sinbad. So he's trying to, wave it away. And as he's doing that, the arrow's moving backwards and forwards. And here we find that Haroun is an amazing shot with an arrow. There you go, he's having another go. And just shoots and wink. Come on, show us it. Fires the arrow. There we go, fires the arrow. Boing! Amazing. Haroun's this amazing guy. Anyway, Wingre says, neither could I. I was rubbish. Actually, I was rubbish at, sports and games and, we used to call it games and gym and all that. I didn't call it PE and games. PE were inside. Games were like football and rugby and stuff outside. And I was rubbish at it right until my last year of school when I started getting right into it. But anyway, never mind. Anyway, right, so. Right, what's that? Oh, so he's lost another homunculus. As it died, he went, oh, did Tom Baker. Because he felt its pain. Anyway, Sinbad climbs out, and presumably the rest of them, they start following. There you go. Oh, up you pop. So I just pull me up. I just tie it round my waist and pull me up. That's what I just said. I did it only once each year. I had to do it. My best stuff was running and dodgeball, bombardment. Something we never really did at school. Dodgeball. Did it? No, they did it once. I remember they did it once at school. Dodgeball. Anyway, I came second in the long jump in the school sports day. The one time I entered school sports day, I came second. There are only 3 in it, but that's me, average. But anyway, right. So they all get out of their prison, and meanwhile, Koura and Ahmed arrive with these savages. And I think they're painted green. They look green, so as to avoid, any racial stereotypes. So it could be Aryans. So they're captured by the green savages or pagan bands. That's what they're supposed to be, aren't they? But there they see him in the distance, being frog marched up the hill. There you go. There's a steep climb ahead. So off they go. Right, so they're taken into the temple. Presume this is a model. Looks like a model, doesn't it? They're superimposed. It's 1973 though. It looks ace. And so in they go. And we get his first look at Carly. There she is. Obviously just a statue, but not for long. They transplanted Celts. I thought they were blue. Don't know, I could be wrong. Dear. So cover themselves in wood and stuff. Like Braveheart, wasn't it? But anyway. The Romans said, didn't they? The Britons and stuff used to paint themselves blue, didn't they? Before going into battle. I don't know if that was true or not, but that's what they used to say. Right, so these savages are gonna sacrifice Kura and Ahmed to their god, and obviously he's got he thinks otherwise, so he does his little Kali, you will bowing obeisance to me and all that, and he throws something at her. There we go. There we go. And she comes to life. I like this shot actually, because obviously there was a proper statue that he threw the thing at, but then this is the model. I've just noticed she's got eyes on each palm. I've just noticed that. I've seen this film, I don't know, it must be 100 times. And I've just noticed, first time I've noticed she's got eyes on the palm of each hand, or an eye. Which obviously fits because Mariana's got one on her hand, hasn't she? Obviously. But anyway. Anyway, I like this because his nice little touch. He's still got the steam, from the thing he threw at her. He's still got that in front, and that's it. As we see her move as well. So, obviously you can't do stop motion smoke, can you? Kalima. No hearts coming out in this one. Because it's not Spielberg. Right, so she comes to life, and then she comes down. It's amazing animation, is this. Apparently, I'm sure I read it somewhere, or just heard it on a commentary, or a documentary, or whatever. It's not on the Blu-ray, sadly enough. That Ray Harryhausen, he had an Indian dancer do a dance routine for him, and he basically copied it for this. So what we're seeing is... Maybe he filmed it, I don't know, but yeah, he had an Indian dancer do all the dancing and the head. I can't do that head side to side head thing and all that we're going to see. But anyway, she comes down the stairs. See, they're all amazed, and here she comes, giving it all that. Oops. There we go. It's probably some of his smoothest animation as well, to be completely honest. But here she comes down the stairs, and each step she takes down, her hands go in a different direction. I say it's cool. Each time she goes down the step, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Because she's supposed to be made of bronze or something, isn't she? So she's ka-ching in each time. Kali Ma Shakti D translates to spiritual power of Mother Kali, apparently. Take your word for that. This guy was a despicable villain. Yes, he was, Castellar. He was. But a very charismatic one, as Kura. Because he's Tom Baker. Ah, Tiara, come with me into the TARDIS. That's my impression of Tom Baker. No, I'm rubbish. Right, so it says dance for me. So he has a dancing. So there we go. We see Kali dancing. And it says stop. And she's carrying on dancing. Then he says stop. And she just steps back in a minute. There we go. And there we go. And then we cut to an actual statue of her. And right, so it says, I shall commune with their deity. So all you lot bugger off. So they all do. And so now, basically now, he's not communing with the deity. He's just rummaging around looking for the last part of the thing. The gold thing, whatever it's called. The Skion. So he's rummaging about. He's trying to find it. And but it's it's the oracle said it's somewhere unseen by human eyes or something like that. So we find out where it is shortly. Meanwhile, there's these hydras here. Look, they look like hydras. Are they supposed to be nagas? But they look like hydras, don't they? We saw hydra, didn't we, in Jason and the Argonauts? I presume they're supposed to be naga serpents. Anyway. I say, cool. That flame's not very realistic, is it? I know, obviously it's a model, isn't it? But, you can't miniaturise flames, can you? But never mind. Meanwhile, they're still rummaging about. They can hear him shouting and swearing and stuff. Where the bloody hell is it? Bloody hell. Bloody game. So they've arrived. So they think they're going to fight to the death. I think somebody says it, to the death. So I was just thinking of Brian Blessed in Flash Gordon. There we go. To the death. But obviously, he doesn't want to fight. There we go. To the death, Carly, death to our enemy. And he throws his sword at Carly. And she catches it. And then magically creates more swords out of each hand. Because it's magic. And then he does his smile. Go on, show us. Come past it. There we go. The Tom Baker smile. And off they go. A nice fight. And I think famously, he practiced this. John Phillip Law, Ray Harryhausen, strapped 3 men together with belts, strapped them together. So they had 6 arms so that he could practice. And when he'd got, a certain amount of the choreography, when he got it down, they took a man away. Then he practiced with 2 men. And then they took the second man away. And then took the third man away. And then, he did it without any man there. He could remember the moves. But it's not just him. There's other people fighting as well. But anyway, so off they go. A cool fight scene. Ensues. Basically, you just don't want to stand on that area because that's Callie can't come out of that area. So just throw stones at her from afar. Never mind. So they're fighting away. One fella's already caught for it. Look, so he went running in where angels fear to tread. But see, they're not doing very well fighting her. So even Haroon, but Haroon has a good idea. He throws some fire at her. Which kind of distracts her for a bit. But then Sinbad runs past up these steps and she follows him up. There's Martin Shaw, not doing very well. So she follows him up the steps. Very bendy for bronze or whatever she's supposed to be made of. But up they go, and Haroon has another go at fighting her, but he ends up getting knocked down. But anyway, they're on the edge of this platform fighting with Sinbad, his Callie. Then Haroon has a cool idea and he just rushes up to her and pushes her off. There we go, pushes her off and she falls down. Oh, for God's sake. She falls down and breaks. Boom! And then just catches hold of him, stop him from falling. I don't think it wasn't that far, was it? But then we see the third golden tablet was inside Callie, but then all the savages come back. They've killed their deity. What if General Grievous had 2 more arms? Hello there. Yes, and Callie says, Sinbad, you are a bold one. Anyway, he's got all 3 parts now. He's got all 3 parts as Kura. So he's going to sod off now and get his the 3 parts. The first part gives you some like immortality. The second part gives you a cloak of darkness or whatever. And the third part gives you a crown of untold riches. So that's what he's wanting. But anyway, so he's going to go and do that. Meanwhile, the savages are going to sacrifice these to their other deity, or they're just going to kill him. That's it. They're just going to kill him, kill Sinbad. And Mariana intervenes in a minute. I think Kura sends Ahmed back to the ship. I think he sends him back. So I don't think we see him again. There we go. Have the crew mate ready to leave. So I think Ahmed gets away scot-free. I don't think we see him again. Anyway, they're going to kill Sinbad. And just as they do, she goes, no! And then she puts a hand up, and they see that, because that were on Callie's hands, as I've only just noticed. But they all stop and think, oh, look, she's got a hand on her hand, an eye on her hand. They go, she's the chosen one of their god of the single eye. So it's got a double meaning. Not only is it on Callie's hand, there's a cyclops coming. But not like the cyclops we saw in the 7th Voyage of Sinbad. So they put her on there. Sinbad, Mariana. But anyway, just want to see a sweaty Caroline Munro. That's all we want to see, isn't it? Anyway, so in comes the cycloptic centaur. Here it comes when it's ready. There we go. Here it comes. Another cool creation. I don't know how. I don't know how they made it a cyclops, but it's their god of the single eye. But they already had the eye on Carly, didn't they? And that was their god. How many gods have they got? Another eye up there. Look, so not the eye symbology. And she faints. Nice animation there. And it's blinking and all. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, it what? It picks her up and takes her off into its cave. There it goes. And roars at him. No, don't roar. It just kind of goes, ah! I don't know the voice of the Cyclops. Does it say? Let's have a look. All cast and crew. Let's have a look. See if it says. No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say who did the voice of the Cyclops. Never mind. Of the Centaur, should I say. Ahmed may have gotten away for now, but nasty little fellows such as him always get their comeuppance. Always. The Mummy. Got that reference. The Mummy. Evie says that, doesn't she, in The Mummy? Meanwhile, Sinbad tells the vizier to show them his face. Because savages are always scared of people with burnt faces. There we go. It's kind of creepy. Dr. Fibes. The abominable Dr. Fibes. Looks like him a bit, doesn't it? But so they all run off because they're scared of him because he's got a burnt face. So they're off after Mariana now. So off they go. Into the tunnel this way. So off they go. Meanwhile, Kura's heading up there. He's following the signs, I presume. And he nearly falls. And but he has to use his magic again to get in. So he makes some boulders fall down to reveal the entrance. Meanwhile, they're going through these other caves again. They can only film after 6 p.m. Yes, a centaur clops. Oh dear. Have no depth perception, will it? But never mind. Here he goes. This is it. And this is where he's using his magic to open that up so he can get in. That's it. There he goes. And he looks really old now when we see him. It looks like me. Hang on, see if it shows him. Hang on. Is it going to show him? That must be next. Must be coming up. Here he goes. Go on, show him. Show his face, for Christ's sake. There he goes. Get the white beard now. Looking like me. Kura the White. I saw the sign and it opened up my eye. See, I was doing well. I was doing well on the bloody references, but that one's... It rings a bell, but I can't think where it's from. It'll be a song, won't it? But I can't remember. Anyway, so he's going in there. Right, so meanwhile... Oh, look, Morlocks. Morlocks have been here eating things. No, it's not. It's the centaur. There he is. Looks like me now, doesn't he? Looks like me. The wrinkles and everything. Anyway, he's arrived at Stonehenge with a fountain in the middle. So this is where he is. The Fountain of Destiny. The final place where he'll get all of his riches. But he's dying. Look, and he can't make it. And he collapses to the ground, look. And he just manages to get the first piece in. Remember, the one that gives him immortality. Ace of Base. That's probably why I didn't get it. Life is demanding without understanding. That's another song? Is it the same one? I don't know. Right, so he gets that one in just in time. Is it gonna, in it goes. Oh, don't have so many rings on your fingers. Maybe you could move your hand. Bloody hell. Anyway, so that first piece went in. So we know he's all right. He's going to be all right. Next time we see him, he's young again. Anyway, finds Marianne. There she is. Because she were crying, but in a weirdly deep voice. You had this deep voice going, and then he looks down, it's her. So maybe she's a bass as well, like Princess Vesper in Spaceballs. She should have been singing, shouldn't she? Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Anyway, so they've saved Marianne, and she says, "You came after me. You should have gone after Cora." And he says, "You're more important, basically, because he wants to tap that Carolyn Munro. That's what he wants." Anyway, they're still looking round. They haven't found him. They're split up, by the way. Anyway, they get into here first. And there we see, look, it turned to gold, look. And then we see Cora's young again. In a minute, when he turns around, there he is. There you go. He's young again. And he calls on the forces of darkness for them to rid them of, of Sinbad and that. Or rid him of Sinbad. Oh, bad river. A bass or baritone? Don't know, I'm tone deaf. Anyway, there we go. So the Cyclops arrives. Is it the same one? Probably. Don't know. But it's got a club in its hand this time. There we go. Kill him! So it's going to have a fight with Sinbad. Starts whacking him with its club. And just smashes its club to bits. But then it throws what's left of it at Sinbad. Like that. Well, me. But luckily, there we go. They all look round. They hear a noise. And a griffin arrives. And I was thinking, have they never met each other before? This Cyclops and this centaur and this griffin. But then I remembered it said, didn't it, that good and evil have been in balance, for forever in these caves. So they probably do keep fighting, but neither wins. But the actions of of a dishonest man or whatever, I'll tip the scales one way or the other. So they've been battling, these two, since time immemorial, and they're going to battle again. Here they go, fighting away. This is cool, but we're reminded of the... there we go. It's foretold it is the deeds of weak and mortal men that may tip the scales one way or the other. And of course, so Kura does his bad thing. There you go, he slashes at the griffin. There you go, and gives the centaur the opportunity to throttle it. Basically, it throttles the poor griffin. There we go. And, so Sinbad's got to defeat the centaur now. So he leaps onto its back in a minute when he's ready. The centaur's knocking his fellas about. Hang on. See the world, ask what it's for, understanding nothing more. Don't you feel small? It happens to us all. Is this another song? Did you just not? I don't know. I'm rubbish at song lyrics. And Scottish Geek guys here. Howdy, Jimmy. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well and stuff. Anyway, so. Sinbad's been... see, I've gone too far now. Sinbad was on the back of the... go on, keep going. There we go. On the back of the centaur. There he is. He's on the back of the centaur, look. And he stabs it with his dagger in its... in there. Whatever that is. That muscle there. Deltoid. There you go. Stabs it in there. And it dies... right, there we go. It's going. Don't have a monster roar. It's just like a fella going. But and then it dies next to the griffin. So they've died together. So there we go. But in the chaos, there we go. He sneaks up and steals. Kura steals the other two parts of the whatever it is, the thingamabob, the MacGuffin. That's what he buys and steals. That was from Moody Blues. Don't you feel small? Only Moody Blues song I know is Nights in White Satin. Dear. Anyway, he throws. Puts the second part in. So he's going to get his cloak of darkness now. And it turns purple. Does the water? It turned gold when it gave him youth, and now it turns purple when he gets his cloak of darkness. So he's going to fight. There we go. He's going to fight Sinbad, but he's starting to disappear now. According to Joshua Kanapke, just like in Buck Rogers season 2. I can't remember, but anyway, so disappearing bit by bit. I think they called it a shield of darkness. I think they might say. For now, you cannot see me at all. You still see the bloody sword he's waving about. So see him fighting. Look, still see his sword. So just point your sword at the end, the handle end, where his sword is. If he had an invisible sword, it might be better. But anyway, so they're fighting away, and then he throws his, using his head, he throws his sword away. So now Sinbad doesn't know where he is in a minute. There we go. So he doesn't know where he is. But then Kura's obviously an idiot. Because he jumps, there we go. He jumps for some reason, Kura jumps into the fountain. And then we can see him. And he's about to throw a dagger at Sinbad. But Sinbad stabs him. Because they all go, Sinbad is behind you. Because it's now a pantomime. And then there you go. He stabs him, and Kura dies, and there we go. There's dying. Look, and he drops the last part into the water and dies, and the fountain turns a lovely shade of red. It looks lovely, but there we go. Oh, it was a lovely shade of red. Let's go back again. Show us it in its lovely shade of red. Oh, for Christ's sake. No, it's going off now. Never mind. Whatever. But then we see Sinbad's reflection in the water. He's got the crown of untold riches on his head and the princely garb. And she points. Look, she's pointing. Look, Sinbad, it's you. But she doesn't say anything. And Sinbad goes, don't say anything, because he doesn't want to be a king. He retrieves the crown of untold riches from the water, and plonks it on the vizier's head. There you go. And his mask disappears, as we see, kind of melts away, and into his regular face. Now he looks like Douglas Wilmer. It turns to glass. Look a bit like Warlords of Atlantis, that, isn't it? But anyway, there we go. Now it turns into Douglas Wilmer. So he's now going to be the king of Arabia. So there we go. He accepts it. He doesn't say, Sinbad, you've done all the work. You accept it. I should give it to Haroun. You've done all the work, Haroun. You'll be king. But no, he wants it. He wants the power. Death is only the beginning. Yes, it is. I prefer to think of them as fighting evil in another dimension. Anyway. So, off they go. They're heading back to Arabia now. And she's changed her clothes as Mariana, looking very tasty. And there we go. They're going to snog. And Haroun is going to be, he wants to be a full-fledged sailor and falls because he's the comic relief. And they all say, trust in Allah, but tie up your camel and all that. And they're all laughing. Ha, ha, ha. And the ship sails off into the night, back to Arabia, and we get the end credits. And there we go. The end. Themed. So what about when he takes the crown off? Does it go back to how it was? No, it doesn't. It's because the goodies have won. Like when Worf abdicated the throne. Yes, just like that. Sorry, I have to get Treknection in there. That's a good word. I have to remember that one. Treknection, copyright 2024, win grace. Dear. That episode of Book was the one with Mark Lenard. Oh, right, yes, I know. He takes his head off, doesn't he? Yes. Journey to Oasis. He takes his head off, doesn't he, in that? Anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of the Golden Voyage of Sinbad. In my opinion, the most technically proficient of the Sinbad films, in my opinion. Seventh Voyage is my favourite, because that just gives me all the feels. When the music comes on at the beginning, and ooh, jin, 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 it just sets me off. Gives me the, tingles. But the only one I've seen in the cinema was Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger back in 1977. That's the only one I've seen in the cinema. So that has a special place in my heart as well. And we'll get round to that one because I do have the Blu-ray of that as well. So there we go. We'll leave it there. Have I any more little pearls of wisdom in my notes? Let me have a look. Oop, on me. According to Ray Harryhausen's early concept art for the project, illustrated in charcoal pencil, the griffin, which fights the one-eyed centaur, was originally going to be a Neanderthal man. The Neanderthal man concept later became the troglodyte in Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. There we go. Anything else? No, that's it. That's it. In my notes. Right. These would be great to put back in the cinema for a special event. Yes, they would. Yes, they're all three of them. Should I do a triple bill one day? God. Agreed, Wingrace. I love those special events that do such things. I've never been to one. Like Fathom events and stuff, don't there, and all that. But never been to one. I'd love to, but I can't, because I can't just sod all these days. Anyway. Sinbad Saturdays, yes. At some point, cinemas are going to have to show old movies. You'd have thought they'd have done that. You'd have thought they'd have done that during the, COVID and all that, when no new films were coming out, or during the strike and stuff, when no new films were coming out. Triple features Friday, for God. Anyway, let me get rid of this. When I make myself big again, there we go. So there we go. That's it. It's an amazing film. I love all the Sinbad films, but Golden Voyage is probably the most proficient one technically. Great monsters in it, and lots of them. Really. But it's great stuff. Great stuff. I've done at least 6 Fathom events. You jammy sod. Never been to one. Theatres near me did that during COVID, and now they all went out of business. Yeah, you'd have thought they would have done, wouldn't you? You'd think as well they'd do these, anniversary. What was it? Like Last Starfighter could have come out this year, couldn't it? 2024. For the 40th anniversary and all that. But anyway, whatever. I've done a bunch of Trek Fathom events and a couple others. I've never been to one. They don't really have them near me. I think the closest place is like Bradford, because in Bradford City near me, we've got the National. It used to be there anyway. The National. What do they call it now? Photographic Museum or whatever. Where they've got a big IMAX screen, and they used to do special events there. Anyway, TNG Blu-rays were fun until they stopped doing those. I don't know. I've got the Blu-ray set. I've not got around to watching them all yet. With Robert My Burnett's special features. Not got around to watching them yet. Oh, cracky. Excuse me. Anyway, what time is it? Right. We're going to leave it there. What's coming up? There we're on Monday. Wednesday will be my news stream. I'll be doing news on Wednesday. And I'm just turning round a minute. Bear with me. This week's Friday night appointment with Fear is going to be The Faculty. Robert Rodriguez's The Faculty, which is a cool, teen horror film from 1998. It's cool. I like that one. Which for some reason has been, I don't know, popping up a lot lately. I don't know why, it just has. Me YouTube recommendations. Anyway, never mind. Where were we? It's Studios, cough, Disney cough. If Studios, we just make good movies without certain annoying embedded bullshit. Theatres would be fine. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Or they'd be doing better. They would show 2 episodes and special features in the theatre. Oh, right. Oh, did they? Oh, right. Is that what you're on about? Oh, right. Cool. Yeah, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? The Faculty, love it. Yes, a cool film. Love The Faculty. What's to fear from Faculty? Slugs, or whatever they are. Probably because Usher did the Super Bowl halftime show. Yes, he did, didn't he? Yes, and Usher's in The Faculty. Yes, he is. Right, so next week's. Oh, aye, yes, hang on. Where is it? Right. Except it's not this. Just bear with me. Hang on. Come here, you bloody thing. Blimey, crikey. Right, next week's. Yes, Space 1999. Next week's Magnificent Mondays is this Alien Attack on VHS, but we'll not be watching the VHS version. We'll be watching the Blu-ray rip from my complete Space 1999 Blu-ray set. But I got the VHS because it's that. So there we go. So we're watching that next Monday. It's part 1 Breakaway, and then episodes from further on in season 1 called War Games. But they've edited it, stuck them both together, but added a couple of extra scenes and changed some things. But anyway, oh God, I'm all out of breath now, crikey. Anyway, where were we? Slither is probably scarier than Faculty. If you say so. I've seen Slither a couple of times. It's fine. It's a James Gunn film. It's fine. I won't say it's scarier than Faculty, though. How's the quality on the Blu-ray? Well, I showed you, didn't I, last week? Hang on, I'll show you again. Now then, just bear with me. Just find a decent picture, a decent place to pause it. Did. Come on, bloody hell. There we go, use that. We've got that, right, hang on. We'll get there, just bear with me. Right, so I'm going to find the same scene for comparison. I bet I can't. Or one similar at least. Where is it? It's about halfway, isn't it? Oh, there we go. I just saw it then. And I missed it. Never mind. We'll use that one. Right. Hey, steady. Let's get rid of them. I know there's an easy way to do this. Dear. Right, we'll use that. That'll do. Right, so here we go. So share this screen now. Right, on the left we've got the Blu-ray. On the right we've got the VHS. Slight difference, isn't there? Slight difference. Do that, and you can see a bit better. That's from the Blu-ray rip, and I said that's the VHS rip. Slight difference. Slightly sharper, isn't it? But yes, that's the difference. Stop fixing the spelling, YouTube. What you spelled? Oh, Blu-ray. Dear. I think I was driving last time you showed it, and I forgot. All right, but you shouldn't be watching things when you're driving. Or have you got a Tesla? Is it driving itself? But anyway, yes. So this is what we're watching next Monday. Space 99, Alien Attack. First half is Breakaway, where the moon leaves Earth orbit. Second half is Alien Attack, where Moonbase Alpha comes under attack, and we find out what happens to Commissioner Simmons. If you wondered, but we don't in this. We do in the episode War Games, but they've changed it for this movie. But never mind. So there we go. So that's the difference. That's what a Blu-ray looks like. That's what a VHS looks like. Still watchable. The Blu-ray's better. Right. We'll leave it there. Right, so I think we're all piling over. Well, I am anyway. To Sci-Fi Quest's channel. Because I think, are you still doing your Star Trek 4 watch party? I think you are. So anyway, I'm going to check anyway to see where I am. So go over there, subscribe to Sci-Fi Quest, subscribe to Wing Grace, and all that. Yes, he says I am. He says he is. Yes. So piling over there to watch Star Trek 4. So I'm gonna have to put Paramount Plus on to watch it. Right. So we'll leave it there. Yes, colourful metaphors. I like Star Trek 4, but it's not my favourite. I know it's the most. Is it the most successful of the classic Star Trek films? I think it will, won't it? But that policeman just does my head in. You know, with nuclear vessels. That police just standing there, just like a div. Gets on my nerves. Anyway, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. By the way, thank you, Wing Grace and Sci-Fi. I forgot to thank everybody. Thank you, Wing Grace, Sci-Fi Quest, and Joshua Kanapke, and Josh Temple, and Daniel Castellar Garcia, and who else do we have in? Scottish Geek Guy. Jimmy popped in, and also we had, I can't remember, I've forgotten. Who else have we had? We've had somebody else as well, I'm sure we have. There we go. Yes, Laura Smith. I've had Laura Smith popped in earlier on. So thank you for joining in the chat. Thank you, everybody else that's watched without chatting. But thank you all for paying attention to me waffling on about a Sinbad film and other stuff. We'll leave it there. So, wasn't he a real cop? They just walked up. Apparently, yeah, but he could have just, why did he just have to look like an idiot? But anyway, he probably couldn't say anything, probably didn't have a SAG card or whatever they call it. Right. Yes, and the millions watching around the world. Let's get ready to rumble. That's my Michael Buffer impression. Anyway, right, whatever. Thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll see thee.